It's Dyer's band now. It's Radiant's band now.
Alright, everything should be worked out. We should be live in game. Hopefully. We don't bug out. Like last time. No, alright. So, we are in
10 seconds.
POTM vs Cream Esports in the
5
Underdogs
seconds
League.
left.
This is a best of 2 series. Game 1 coming at you.
Dyer's turn to ban.
Some nice banners here. This Cream banner actually looks super good. The nice like gradient rain
Radiant's turn
style
to
behind
ban.
the Cream. This little triangle here does it as well. This
Dyer's
is
turn to ban.
a nice logo. And we are going to see Void Spirit banned out, so I was going to ask the question whether we'd see Snapfire, Void Spirit banned, picked first phase, you know, they're being just introduced into Captain's mode. There's always a little shot that these heroes slip through unnoticed, and then you can get them picked up first phases. They do both have a place in the meta right now. Snapfire, of course, being one of the super strong supports. And then Void Spirit just being this elusive kind of carry mid.
10 seconds.
But we'll see both banned out first phase here, so none of the shenanigans of these getting first picked. But that does take away some of the bans for the supports, which we've seen banned all too often in the Lich, in the Treant, which does actually still get banned out, and in the Disruptor. So we'll see if those are decided to be a priority by either team.
Seconds. 5 seconds left. Radiant's turn to pick.
I suppose Tiny is another one of those heroes that I should have mentioned in the very popular first phase ban sent along with those supports, as this hero as well has been super popular, and I think these additions of the Void Spirit Snapfire into the Captain's Mode pool do allow it to slip through just a little bit better than, or a little bit more often than it used to before these heroes were almost necessary bans. And we do see the Lich picked up by the side of Cream, so not wanting to give away the Void Spirit, they lose their, or excuse me, on POTM not wanting to give away the Snapfire, they lose their ban on another strong support like Lich, and that one will get picked up instantly.
10 seconds to go. 5 seconds left.
Run as a 4, so while most people are going to be wanting to run a core, there is a little bit of potential for this puck to be a flex pick, in that Cream can take it pretty much wherever they want within a little bit of reason, but it does have the elusiveness where it can fit a couple of different roles if they want it to. So rather non-committal in their draft thus far, despite picking a hero which most people might look at and be, this is just a strong mid to pick in second phase.
It's Dire's band now.
Crystal Maiden.
And the Crystal Maiden actually being picked up by POTM.
It's Radiant's band now.
I think that's a super interesting pick. We haven't actually seen a lot of CM picked since the most recent patch, because the loss of the GPM talent's actually a huge deal for the Crystal Maiden. She either now needs to find a little bit more farm by using her abilities, perhaps in the jungle, perhaps pushing out waves. But before, if she was ever picked up, it was to be able to fall back on that gold talent. And eventually you just are able to funnel items that now you're kind of unable to get. And as a 5-position CM, you have a harder time shoving out waves because you're so squishy, you don't have the mobility, and your move speed is just atrocious. So
5 seconds left.
CM has lost that little bit of advantage that she did once have, but POTM still feels that it's a hero worth picking, so it does provide that mana regen aura and a root, and it does pair strongly with the Tiny, with the root in place and to toss back, so if they want to run a more aggressive lane, that's an option. Also, giving extra mana to a roaming Tiny is always helpful.
Left. Radiant pick. Dire's turn to pick.
Bloodseeker.
Cream with the pretty instant pickup of the Bloodseeker. This is a hero that's able to get on top of the CM, like I was saying, with such low move speed. He can very easily run her down. She does have the root, but after that duration's over, Bloodseeker can run and just feast on this low HP, low armor hero.
5 seconds left.
Sorry, we are having a little bit of problems. That's no good. Suppose we gotta just leave. Alright, I think everything's back to fixed. I think we're good. Me saying that, that's gonna come back to bite me in the ass, but I think we're fine.
Venomancer.
Alright, and a Venomancer from POTM. Trying to deal some good DOT in these fights, maybe looking for longer engagements. The only thing I'm worried about with that idea is that the Bloodseeker really does well in these prolonged engagements, and with the Blood Rage, the damage over time, as long as he's in the area of kills, he does get heals on the back of that, so the Veno almost plays into a little bit of Bloodseeker's strength, so we'll see how they decide to run it, and maybe they're just looking to get some strong lanes out of it.
Pick.
Omni Knight.
And yeah, Kareem's able to just grab the Omni Knight, so very popular offlaner right now. Does have a Dispel, does have Save. GA, of course, is a great spell. Purify lets you just man up in lane and dump some heals onto your team and through the mid game. And Heavenly Grace is such a good spell with that Dispel, with that strength bonus. POTM grabs a Razor, super good against Bloodseeker, and with 2 melee cores to boot, Razor is able to just drain damage in the middle of these fights, become a big confusion factor. Means Cream is going to have to play around the static link. And Razor now dealing AoE magic damage on a short timer, uncontrollable. Means that a hero like Puck is going to have to be a little bit careful, because for the first little while through the beginning of the mid game, this hero is really not that tanky. So he's going to have to be careful with how he decides to commit in team fights, because even if he jumps the back lines, if he's close enough to the Razor, he's going to be just taking a lot of HP over time, and Veno going to be able to drain him in a very similar way. Hit him with the Poison Sting, Plague Wards adding a little bit of confusion, and the what's the Q called? What's going to drive me crazy? Yeah, the Venomous Scale. Can really just chunk the Puck down pretty quickly. Still having issues?
Radiant's turn to pick.
Shadow Fiend.
And Shadow Fiend gonna round out POTM's draft, so looking like we're gonna have a Veno Tiny offlane. Crystal Maiden is actually super good with these 2 cores, the Razor and the Shadow Fiend, and actually pretty good with the rest of them in terms of giving the extra mana, as Razor and Shadow Fiend both gonna look to turn into the jungle, use their all their abilities to try and farm camps, and CM giving them the bonus mana is gonna cut down on the amount of regeneration they need to bring out while they're doing so. And Cream, though, they'll grab a Sniper at the end, so Sniper is going to look to stick away from the Razor, try and throw damage into these team fights at a distance, and I think the real key in this game is going to be whether Spider is able to jump on the back of these fights, find the Sniper on the back, and toss him back into the team. If he's not, Sniper's going to be able to put out so much damage from outside of the team fight, where this Venomancer's not going to be able to toss damage onto him, where the Razor's going to be out of range to hit him, and Sniper will just be able to deal so much in the fights. But if Spider is able to run up as the Tiny and take Dark Mago into the fights, into closer range, we'll see a very easy fight for POTM. So drafts do round out for each team. Looks like we're gonna have the Puck mid and the Sniper safe lane, I would imagine. The other side, Shadow Fiend gonna be taking it. Probably. I want to say Shadow Fiend's taking it mid and Razor to the safe lane, but I suppose they could always run the Razor mid as well. I think that Razor really matches up the best against the Bloodseeker if they can find that lane. No, I'm sorry. I'm completely forgetting there's a Bloodseeker, so it's Puck 4, Sniper mid, with the Omni off lane maybe. They do definitely have lanes that they can rearrange on the side of Cream.
Prepare
Okay.
for battle.
Perfect. Alright, so on the side of Cream, we're going to have Pamplona taking the puck. We've got Zindurls on the Omni Knight. He'll be taking that one to the offlane. Dark Mago playing the Sniper on mid.
I'm seeing red.
We've got Arides on the Lich. And Kukahuk on the Bloodseeker. Now on the other side of the river, we got Chobo on the Venomancer Spider playing the Tiny. Got Rayalina going to be handling the Shadow Fiend. Aiza on the Crystal Maiden. And right over next to him, we got Moo playing the Razor for the side of POTM. This aggressive ward does spot out Kukahuk. And he'll actually run up towards the heroes from POTM, but they're just going to back off, claim the runes for themselves. Or will they? Actually, a little bit of engagement. Kukahuk throws out the silence, but rune will be grabbed by Spider, and they should go 2 for 2. Nice block from Rayalina that'll keep the creeps up on his high ground. Does actually miss the range creep despite Triple raising the wave, so a little bit of an unfortunate start for the Shadow Fiend.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
The bot lane, both sides already aggressing onto each other, but I actually see Pamplona dragging the wave. He's looking for the courier, and he's gonna get it.
Dire's plucky little courier. Oops.
Aiza does lose the sentry ward as well. Pamplona is gonna TP away, and Aiza didn't want to commit the mango. He wasn't gonna get the kill anyway, so. Sorry, we're having some issues again. I'm not missing any kills, I hope. Alright, we're back. We're back, everything's fixed. Game is smooth. We're good. Spider taking a bit of damage, but he'll be just fine. Chobo's gonna salve up and be ready to get back into the action. So Moo so far definitely the winner of this laning stage. He is 10 for 2. He gets gone on by both heroes of Korean, but he's just going to turn as he had the static link out onto Zindurls. Steals 66 damage, and that's going to put a hamper on the farm of Omni Knight in this offlane. Mago found the DD rune, and he's going to try and use that one to catch back up in CS, but he is a couple behind. So already we're going to see Rayalina try and jungle some of this medium camp next to lane. He just puts a couple hits on it and he'll go back to the wave. Again, we actually see Pamplona get behind the tower for a second time, and first blood, Rayalina finds the kill onto Dark Mago in the mid lane. Looks like Mago tried to commit forward in the end of that DD rune, but didn't quite have the damage, and missing more kills as Spider was able to find Arides as Chobo was getting run down, but damage was not there from Bloodseeker. He'll have to back away. So 2 kills going the way of POTM. Move with full 72 damage stolen, and that's going to be enough damage to take down Zindurls. Caught that kill. Didn't catch that one as Aridi's able to nuke down Chobo with that Frost Blast. Spider forced to run away with Kuko Hook on just a couple of points of HP, but he'll salve up and Blood Rage will get him the rest of the way there. Already forced to look back as Arides wants to man up on Chobo. Spider is running in. No kill this time. Outpost will be claimed by Pamplona. Not a huge deal until the 10-minute mark, but having that TP foothold is important. So it's like, nope, Isaiah is gonna let it go for now. And another courier falls. Pamplona really putting in work on those courier kills. If he gets another one, someone might have to call PETA. As getting aggressive is Pamplona. He's gonna jump forward onto Aza. Aza taking a lot of right click damage. Roots up Pamplona, but one more click will take him. Moo now gets the static link off, but not going to be enough damage to trade kills. Spider trying to put damage onto Kuko Hook. Kuko Hook's going to be able to run his way away. Toss the creep back instead of Arides, and that's going to end any conflict in the bot lane. For now. I should add the for now. I'm sure they'll be back at it again soon.
Dire's middle tower's in trouble. Which one, Dire again?
We're still farming up this top lane.
Purified.
Raylina grabs a haste rune. He's going to run his way up top. Does have those level 4 raises ready to go, but he'll think better of it. He's going to run back to the mid lane. So a little bit of journey for Shadow Fiend, but he's not going to miss anything as his wave was pushed under tower. Now, Arides getting run down by Spider. Spider has no mana for the toss, so he'll be just fine. Meanwhile, Kuko Hook did manage to run down Chobo. Now the toss, and that'll trade out. So Kuko Hook taken down by the creeps. Gonna trade 1-for-1 on the bot lane, and Cream definitely gonna be happy for that as they got the core for the support. I guess the core for the offlaner. But you do feel like the Bloodseeker's a much higher impact hero than the Venomancer. Meanwhile, it does leave Spider to grab a little bit of farm out of this wave. Top lane Moo is going to get aggressive onto Zindrails. Pops up the ultimate. Heavenly Grace did give him that bonus strength, but he will be run down, right click down from the static link. Moo trying to get aggressive onto Puck, but he's just going to run his way away. Now in the bot lane, Spider, Avalanche toss onto Arides. Arides taking some right click damage, and he will eventually fall, I'm sure, but Chobo getting manned up on by Kuko Hook. Kuko Hook has plenty of move speed to take him down, and he will fall. Now running down Spider, but doesn't quite have the speed. Didn't have the level 6 yet. Leveled it just a moment too late to get the Rupture out. Dark Mago is going to grab an Illusion. We see Isa did reclaim that outpost up top. Trying to get a pull in that one last creep. Will get it off. The rest of the small camp will be back eventually. So all these Underdogs games, huh? It's 8.5 minutes, and we're gonna see another kill onto Pamplona. That makes it 11 kills in under 9 minutes. Do you see the first of the neutral items to start coming out now? Shovel on Sniper, he gets Kobold. Rupture comes out onto Chobo. Puck did make the rotation for this one. He's going to walk his way out of the silence, but Chobo will eventually fall here. Spider makes his way into the trees. But Moo actually makes the rotation in now. Moo with the ultimate out. He's going to get Pamplona, or will he? Yes, he will. Last tick, and Arades is next to fall. Moo with the value rotation finds 2 kills. With half duration on the ultimate, he should look to push for a little bit more as Bloodseeker completely abandons the lane. Bit too much pressure here. Bottom will look to claim the bottom outpost. Now the top one was claimed by Cream a few moments ago. So at 10 minutes, it will go 1 for 1. Looks like Runes should go 2 for 2.
What have we here?
And a very even game up to this point. As a Sniper manages to stay top on the net worth, he is going for a Maelstrom, and he's got that Javelin up already. Shadow Fiend, though, not far behind. Raylina is able to keep pace on the farms and in the farm, and he does have a more aggressive item in the drums.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Down bottom. Bottom is putting a little bit of pressure with that wagon. There's been no rotation quite yet from Cream. Now top lane. Kugok did commit the Rupture to kill off Aiza's CM. Keep that wagon alive. It will live on just one hit, and should let him take down the rest of the tier 1 now. Looks like Spider's going to be the one to stick around, make sure it does fall.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Meanwhile, Moo trying to maximize his efficiency with the ultimate, take down the neutral creeps. Cream is looking for the trade on the tier 1 top. A little rotation coming in from Aiza and Chobo, but they're both dream coiled up now. Stun in place. Pamplona jumps forward. Kukuk is going to run in as well. And 2 quick kills, maybe looking for more, but didn't quite have the vision on Spider, so he'll be forced to back away. And actually in the mid lane, Raylina did find Arades. But with the rest of the team rotating in, they may be able to catch up to him. Salve up will save him for the time being, but Rupture, he does channel up the ult, he gets it off, he's got to stay in place, but the Fear is going to send the rest of the team away. And Bottom's going to chase forward now. Zinder's looking in a little bit of trouble, static linked up. GA does get off. And Spider now taking a lot of right-click damage from Dark Mago. Dark Mago now, though, standing right next to a Razor who's stolen quite a hefty bit of damage, and the 122 takes down the Puck. Mago standing on the high ground. The mischance is going to let him win that team fight, or win that 1v1. He will take down Moo.
Healing and harm.
And he should just be able to deny this tower. He's going to let it stand for now. Mako using that take game active to eventually take down the ward from the high ground. So now Moo grabs a Yule Scepter, good against the Bloodseeker. And they look like they want to get aggressive. Spider is making the aggressive move through the jungle, but caught out by Arades and Pamplona. Feared up, and he will fall. Now Pamplona jumps forward onto Aiza. Aiza dream coiled and in a lot of trouble as the rest of the team runs over to him. Cream is going to clean 2 heroes here. They'll claim the supports.
Radiant's middle tower has been denied.
Raylina does have a fresh Blink Dagger. And Requiem is off cooldown. He's gonna find a haste rune, blinks onto it, now picks it up. Mago tries to TP out, but that one's gonna get cancelled by the Requiem, and Dark Mago will fall. That puts Raylina on the top of the net worth chart, and he still has half a haste rune left. He's just gonna use it to farm the jungle. Spider gonna take this outpost down bottom, as this is exactly a scenario where this outpost is a key one, is they could look to put some pressure on this tier 2 tower. The ability to TP your cores from the other side of the map right next to the enemy tier 2 is a big issue for the defending team. Especially as buybacks can come into a team fight in this area.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
15 minutes pops, runes will be traded 2 for 2. As Cream is occupying this top half of the map, and POTM is occupying the bottom. Do see a nice ancient stack here. They don't have the best heroes at taking the ancient stacks though, so we'll see who does end up claiming that one. We're looking for a halberd next after his completed Yule Scepter. There you go, just actually walking all the way back to base. You can see just how scared he is of this jungle. He's walking right along the outside of his high ground. Doesn't want to get close to the jungle at all.
Double damage.
And we see all of a sudden, Raylina's picked up another 2,000 gold. And that's without taking the ancient stack, actually, so he's managed to continue farming while the side of Cream feels super scared. You see just how far back Dark Mago's playing. And all this wasted time where POTM isn't making a push, but he sets up to defend anyway. Now, as I say that, Spider is going to get caught out by Aridi shoving the wave. Dream Coil will be committed onto him. And he should eventually fall. Isa, the second target, as Dark Mago able to click him down. The rest of the team will manage to walk away. But even with that, Sniper went from about even in net worth to about 1,700 behind, or 1,600 behind. Moon maybe sticking around a bit too long, but he's thinking about going back in here as Chobo does run in. But as we were saying, the Sniper has fallen off a little bit in farm as he set up for that defense. Meanwhile, Raylina on the Shadow Fiend has just continued to farm and accelerate, and he's gonna have a BKB and just a couple hundred gold. So POTM right now doing this 4 protect 1 strat while Cream responds to it with 5 heroes. Pamplona now jumps forward, and Spider caught out on the back and Isa caught out on the front. Looks like both will fall again. CM ult cancelled by the Dream Coil, and once again you'll see your 2 supports from POTM get picked off, being maybe a little bit too aggressive, as the cores in Mu and in Chobo were just not there and not willing to fight like that. When you run this 4 protect 1, you definitely don't want to get into full 4-on-5 engagements. So perhaps the support's being a little bit too ambitious in how much map they can control alone. Now Moo's going to jump forward onto Zinderos. Zinderos pops the drums to try and run away, but doesn't quite have the move speed. He is going to run Moo into the rest of the team, who is slowly arriving. Moo should claim this kill, actually. Zinderos pops the Guardian Angel, and that'll force Moo to back away, as there was support coming. from Cream. Now, though, POTM is rotating the rest of the team in as well. POTM now making moves through the enemy jungle. Getting a D-ward down for now and trying to take control of this high ground outside of the tier 2 as Mu now is going to start to put some punches into it. And meanwhile, Pamplona sets up towards Raylina. He'll TP back for now as Raylina is making his way through the jungle. Rupture out onto Mu, but Mu is quite tanky. Dream Coil is going to whiff. As Chobo now he gets off the ulti onto 3. Mu, Rupture's already over. He's going to walk forward as Dark Mago caught out on the backlines. This is a disastrous fight for Cream as now Mu runs down under the tier 2 tower, takes down Zindles as well. As that's 3 heroes dead for the side of Cream, and POTM with a lot of pressure right now. They're going to look, it looks like, to go high ground. Raylina is quite low, but there's no buybacks on these cores of Cream. The glyph will convince them to back away, and lucky for Cream as they did not have the buybacks. So, Raylina actually level 20 already. Next closest is Dark Mago at 16, but 4 levels behind is a hard place to find yourself as... Where was that? Raylina found Pamplona somewhere that he shouldn't have been, I suppose. Actually, right in the mid lane, maybe. As now he's going to try and take this big ancient stack here. Got that BKB complete, working towards a Satanic, and he's feeling pretty unkillable right now. Meanwhile, the rest of POTM making aggressive moves towards the tier 2 in the mid lane. And you can still see how scared the rest of Cream has to be. Dark Mago hiding behind his tier 2, unable to get any sort of farm right now as he feels like his entire jungle has been invaded, and rightfully so. As POTM with super aggressive vision and super aggressive positioning right now. And this time Raylina is going to link up with them. Nope, he's going to TP up to the top lane. He's going to split out this top wave, so waiting to finish up this Satanic. As Mu has a Halberd complete, and he's going for a Blink Dagger. He's going to have it in just another camp. And all of a sudden, 6k net worth lead for the side of POTM, and that one's going to keep growing as long as the cores are allowed to split push like this. Rupture onto Chobo. Chobo does get the ulti off onto everyone. Chobo actually sticking around. The Chain Frost jumping around. Aiza gets silenced during the ulti. 3 will fall this time, but Raylina jumps in, BKB, and gets the ult off onto 2. That's going to take them both down. Here comes Mu, wants to run in on the back as well. Raylina's going to run down Dark Mago as the BKB does expire, but he'll be forced to back, so doesn't want to dive the tier 2. Meanwhile, on the back lines, Mu does take down Pamplona. So even after taking down 3 heroes, Cream too weak to contest against both cores, and it'll end up 3 for 3 down. Dark Mago getting run down on the high ground by Mu. And unable to do anything. His Kukohagil yules up Mu, and that'll save his sniper, but he's going to pay for it with his life as both Raylina and Mu blink up to the high ground to chase. So it ends up being a 4 for 3 in favor of POTM, even though they lost both their supports and their offlaner before the cores even showed up to the fight. And now that team fight just shows how hard this game is looking for Cream. They felt like they took a good engagement. They felt like they picked off 3. They wanted to stick around and fight these cores who just jumped in after the fight was basically over. And didn't have the damage to take down either of them. Meanwhile, Raylina able to feel so confident, popping the BKB and just blinking up into the team. Moo looking for Zinderos. He's going to be tossed back into him, static linked up. Dream Coil does come out onto the two of them, and now all of a sudden, Moo in a little bit of trouble. GA does come out. Moo's going to sell fuels for the time being, and blinks away. Moo now looking to turn and go forward, and Rayalina is on the back line. Blinks forward. He is going to get the ulti just onto Dark Mago. Mago forces forward, but he's still caught out. Mago will fall eventually. Yes, Rayalina does claim the kill, and now Zinderos has used his kit. He will fall as well. Moose still on the backline, surviving all the damage. Pamplona trying to take him down with a couple of right clicks. Kuga Hook will eventually run him down with that move speed. Rayalina trying to turn. And he will run himself away as without Moo. There is a little bit too much damage there after the Dark Mago buyback. And these team fights are just scaling huge distances as the initiation came almost under the tier 2 tower, and the fight took up the entire high ground all the way up to under where the tier 1 used to be.
For the twin.
But Rayalina, you just see how confident he is as he was able to jump into the fight. He feels confident jumping under the tier 2, and he runs everywhere and takes almost no damage. Spider wants to go back up on the high ground. He'll blink up there. But he'll get shrapnelled out. He'll get punched by Dark Mago. Radius catches him with the fear, and Spider's just gonna be taken down. There is a lot of damage there now. Spider basically just blinked into the entire team of Cream, so while the cores feel super strong, the supports can't quite jump into a somewhat farmed sniper. And he is doing alright for himself, except that you see the Shadow Fiend with 17,000 net worth. He's completed a Satanic. He's moving towards Daedalus now, and we'll see him jump forward. He grabs a DD, and he's gonna just 2-hit Pamplona, hitting for over 500. On that DD rune. And he wants to move his way into Roshan. He probably could solo this one if he wanted to, as Moo is going to walk up onto the high ground. He's going to back now as Dark Mago was punching into him a little bit. Blood Rate's getting tossed into the pit, but shrapnel for vision. Kuga will toss out the Blood Rate. Who's going to run forward? Now a Rupture out onto Rayalina, but he pops the BKB, gets the ulti off, and now he's going to punch down Zindos before he can get his ult off. Now Kuga getting run down by Moo. BKB TP, but he won't have the HP to survive that one as he's dead for 50 seconds, no buyback. Rayalina did... Who grabbed the Aegis? Moo grabbed the Aegis, excuse me. As they're going to look to assault the tier 2 in the mid lane now, while Rayalina runs towards top to split the wave in.
Radiant's middle tower's not feeling the love.
We'll run back towards that mid tier 2 now, link up with his team as they finish it off.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Bot lane all pushing in already.
Now it needs a hand.
And Rayalina is actually going to blink down there and hit on the bot tower. Meanwhile, Moo's going to hammer the mid. Looks like they may be repelled for the time being. Bottom will back off. Rayalina uses that Satanic to make sure he's on full HP. That's Pamplona doing his best to keep the top wave pushed out so they won't lose another tier 2. So a 12k net worth lead opened up for the side of POTM. And Rayalina feels stronger than ever. Moo as well. About to have a BKB completed, and once he has that, the side of Cream, they'll be hard pressed to take him down in fights, and he'll be able to just run his way all the way to the back lines on the sniper if he wants to. Though Kuka Hook would still be a good option for the static link.
Dire is scanning for enemies. Dire's top tower is under attack.
And Dark Mago's still so scared, sitting up behind his barracks, farming this bottom wave that's pushed all the way into his tier 3. Meanwhile, POTM just controlling the entire enemy side of the map. Confident in sending Spider down to the spot lane alone to push it in. They have control of the jungle and the triangle. And Moo just gonna split push this top wave. Eventually they will claim this tier 2. Raylina waiting to pick up a DD. Grabs it right before the new rune spawns. He'll grab an illusion as well. And with that DD, he may look to make a move happen because he's all of a sudden hitting for, what is that, 560? Plus he just got that fresh Daedalus delivered to him. So let's see what he crits for. It's going to be over 1,000 for sure. Come on, hit something. I want to see you do it. He doesn't want to show this DD, and they're going to smoke up with the last quarter of it. Moo just blinks up to the high ground, gets the link onto Sniper. Sniper now feared up and brought down 95 seconds on the sidelines with no buyback. And Raylina just going to focus his attention on the tower. Moo still does have that Aegis. And even through that Frost Shield, they do manage to take down these racks pretty fast. Now toss back is Zinderl. Zinderl's trying to heal himself up through that, but Raylina just way too strong. He's going to jump forward. He's going to crit for 956 on Arides. That'll take Lich down in a heartbeat. And they're going to go straight for the jugular into the tier 4 as they go. Cream has to somehow defend this 2 versus 5. Now 3 versus 5 with the Lich buyback, but 50 seconds till they got Dark Mago back, and blinks forward on Spider. Spider gets caught near the fountain, but they don't have the damage to bring him down. They don't want to leave the fountain. They know the second they leave the fountain, they'll just get brought down, but they've got to defend somehow. Throne's on half HP. Frost Shield goes out onto it, but now the blink forward from Pamplona. He gets the Dream Coil off onto 2, but they're not afraid. They keep hitting the Throne. Now the Chain Frost bouncing around, but it doesn't deal enough damage. It hasn't brought down a single one yet. Now Chobo does get ruptured. And does not matter as he won't fall. Throne falls. And started from the bottom with a quick, decisive victory in game number 1 of this best of 2.
Ah, sweet toxicity.
I've received a new Bloom spin. But yeah, a pretty dominant showing from the side that started from the bottom. SF finishing the game with 755 gold per minute and over 1,000 XPM. That's pretty ridiculous. And we saw the game even for a point, and then the second Raylina was able to find a little bit of farm and find a little bit while his team did look like they were just throwing bodies into the enemy jungle. He was able to farm up while the side of Cream was all distracted dealing with his supports, and that got them the edge that they needed. So we will be back soon for game number 2. That was, of course, game 1 in a best of 2 series. And yeah, we will be right back.
Seconds remaining. Dire team band.
Alright, and right back in we go to game number 2. Game number 1 we saw started from the bottom take a decisive victory over Cream Esports. We will see if Cream can solve the issues they had from game number 1 I guess that might be a little bit too strong of a phrase, right? Solve the issues they had. They really just, when push came to shove, they didn't deal with making sure Rayalina was contested in farm. And you really... I'm making it sound perhaps a little bit worse. Like, Cream, the only problem they had is that they were almost a little bit too cautious as they let started from the bottom dictate the terms of the game. And even though Cream was managing to get kills, they were keeping their entire team grouped up waiting for Potom to make moves. And I think when Potom realized that, they kind of danced and hung around near where Cream were, but they never threw their important heroes at it. They never threw the Razor, they never threw the Veno, other than that one time. And that was enough to keep everyone from Cream focused on making sure they had numbers for if the jump forward ever actually came. And all the meanwhile, Rayalina was just pushing waves, getting farm, hitting jungle. And when he came out and was ready to fight, he was just the biggest hero that you could possibly hope for. And we saw once he hit that BKB, he felt confident to jump forward and pretty much drop the Requiem on anyone. Afterwards, he finishes up the Satanic, and he's nigh unkillable. The sniper, sure, he's got a Maelstrom, but you know, what are you gonna do against this Shadow Fiend with a full Satanic completed? He's so tanky, and even if you manage to bring him low, he hits so hard that he pops Satanic in 2, 3, 4 hits, and he's full HP. But into this game, we do see the Tiny leaks through again. This time, Cream is going to be the one, or are going to be the ones to claim it. And the Disruptor grabbed from Potom. So, what we were saying during the draft of game number 1 does manage to hold true through to game number 2, is the Snapfire and the Void Spirit, both contested in the ban phase. Does leave these popular heroes, this time the Lich banned out and not the Tree. But it does leave the Tiny, it does leave the Disruptor, it does leave the Doom, and all of these are popular heroes that are often contested in the first phase. But these 2 new heroes added to Captain's modes, throwing a wrench into teams banning plans, and maybe letting some of these heroes through that you really don't want to see get through. I'm also interested to see if Started from the Bottom goes for a similar game plan, because right now they do have heroes for both the 5 position and the 3 that can really just run at you, regardless of whether they have a whole team or not. Doom is one of those heroes that even from very early on can level that Scorched Earth, can take that Infernal Blade, and run at you. And once he hits his 6, he's a big threat in these fights where if you don't throw a whole team fight at him, he will be able to run at whoever you send. He could also be run in the 4 position. Now, I would imagine they're going to take him in the 3 to the off lane. But the 4 position Doom is a hero that I really think is really good right now. You grab like a Direwolf or you grab a stun creep early on, and then you max out the Scorched Earth Infernal Blade, and you can pretty much run at anyone in your lane as a 4 position, which completely frees up your lane, and it makes carries have a really, really hard time getting anything done in their lane, because this Doom, he's tanky, he's running at you with a lot of damage. So how do you contest creeps with this guy running at you?
5 seconds remaining.
And Cream does pick up the Undying. This is a much higher tempo hero as well. Decay definitely good against the Doom. Takes away his strength, which takes away his damage. We haven't seen much of the Undying recently. It doesn't offer that same control as even a Doom has with the interrupt from Infernal Blade. Doom also has the Devour potential, so run as a 4 as Undying likes to. Actually, Undying does like to be more of a 5, but it doesn't offer that same control that we've been seeing popularized recently. As the best you've got is the Tombstone Slow, and that is on a large cooldown as well. So an interesting pick, definitely one POTM was not expecting.
5 seconds remaining. Dire team banned. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
So seeing even through second banning phase, I think we're seeing very similar heroes taken out. This time we do see the Razor ban by Cream, as POTM did play it pretty well in the last game. Razor was able to get on their heroes when they needed to, but more importantly, he was able to farm even while sticking close around to his team in the enemy side of the map. And POTM is going to pick up a Dazzle. Dazzle is not a hero that we've been seeing almost at all.
Dire team pick.
And the losing multiple neutral items has hurt this hero as well. Before you can see some clowny stuff and the extra cooldown reduction for multiple items, but even just the extra stats definitely helped out the Dazzle a lot with the mana regen and with giving him a little bit more strength so he can use his spells more effectively on his teammates rather than needing to make sure he's keeping himself alive.
5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick. Weaver.
And they take a Weaver as well. So POTM now drafting a bunch of heroes that they start off the first phase with these very common heroes, and they roll through second phase with some kind of out there picks. Weaver definitely being picked to take advantage of Undying having very, very little catch in terms of team play. He actually has no catch. So maybe looking at this 4-5 duo and saying, hey, there's no hard lockdown. They've got Avalanche, Toss, and that's it. Lifestealer, also a carry with no stun.
Dire
Cream grabs a Centaur, but even that just adds one AoE stun. That's in the Stomp. So Weaver, as long as he's able to play around that one, he's going to feel pretty confident this game. They do have what appears to be their mid lane pick saved for last, but they'll definitely now need to grab something with catch in order to deal with this Weaver. And bottom last phase taking Ember Spirit out of the pool. I'd imagine they take out something like the OD now, something that can grab onto the Weaver and take advantage of Weaver's low mana pool to just blow him up in a fight. I would imagine if POTM doesn't take that out, that's going to be basically an instant pick from Cream. You know, something else we could see as an idea from POTM is they could grab something like a Storm Spirit here and add more chaos to fights with no stuns. Lifestealer, until he gets an Abyssal Blade, just can't deal with the Storm zipping around, as even the Open Wounds doesn't stop the mobility. And Cream actually bans out the OD themselves. I think it would be a great pick for them here. Save for the Disruptor, save for the Doom. Great against Weaver. I'm really surprised that they don't pick it up themselves.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Skywrath Mage.
So Cream grabs the Skywrath Mage again. This is a hero with no hard control. Sure, he will build into an Atos. He does have that innate silence, so a very bare bones catch for the Weaver, but nothing off the bat, nothing definite. Atos can, of course, be dodged by going into this. So a little bit scary for the side of Cream. They don't have great catch for the Weaver. And they themselves will take the Shadow Fiend for the second game in a row. And we're actually going to see the Tiny brought into the mid lane, with the Skywrath being played as the position 4. I do feel like Shadow Fiend versus Tiny is a matchup that you don't necessarily want if you're Cream, but So I mean, Centaur Skywrath is a very strong high damage lane. And Lifestealer fares already against Doom, so in the laning stage they'll be just fine. I'm a little bit worried about the mid lane for Cream, as giving a melee hero against Shadow Fiend, it feels pretty nice when you're playing Shadow Fiend. And Dazzle does have the save for the 4-position Skywrath into the mid game. I mean, at this point, Dazzle will be able to save pretty much anyone that gets caught by the burst from the Mystic Flare. So it's going to be very hard for Cream, I believe, to lock down heroes in these team fights. So alright, getting into game 2. POTM trying to finish the 2-0 victory in this best of 2. And Cream, of course, trying to split the series 1-1. So on the side of started from the bottom, we're going to see Chobo handling the Doom, Isa on the Disruptor. We've got Moo playing the Weaver. We see Spider handling the Dazzle. And Shadow Fiend going to be handled by Rayalina for the second game in a row. On the other side of the river, Zindrals going to be taking the Centaur, Tiny, played by Dark Mago in the mid. See Pamplona on his Skywrath, RETs, on the Undying, and Kukahook taking that Lifestealer.
30 seconds to battle.
They're actually going to send the Weaver to the offlane along with the Dazzle. Meanwhile, Doom going to be running up in the top lane. Spider can't quite see him there as Arides is going to play around with the vision. Spider going to run up, but when Kugook runs at him, he's going to walk his way back away. He takes a couple punches, but he'll be just fine. Raylina misses the block this time. Doesn't quite have the ridiculous one that he had last game, and Dark Mago, that means this time, going to be able to finish out his block. Dark Mago does lead quite highly in damage this early stage, so he's got to try and zone the SF out while he can. Actually see Lifestealer all the way back in his own jungle still, as Doom left completely free to grab the first wave of CS. Meanwhile, Pamplona did make a rotation around the back of mid, does have boots to start, so maybe looking for a courier. Isaac gets the Thunderclap out, just a little bit of harass damage as Chobo. Now they bring RETs up here. It's a tri-lane against the Doom, but he's going to Scorched Earth, walk away. He does have Devour to fall back on if they keep this tri-lane up here against him, so he'll be perfectly happy with that now. Moo as well, sitting on 5 CS. He's plenty happy with the lane he's got. He is 1v1. Now they'll bring down Pamplona and 2v2 in the spot lane. Excuse me, it wasn't 1v1. Spider is hanging around. In the mid, Rayalina unable to gather those souls just yet, having a little bit of a hard time getting those CS. After the first wave where he got a couple, he hasn't gotten any but 3. As Dark Mago will pick up that CS lead, 11-1 versus the 8-0 now. Tosses his illusion in, get a little chunk of damage onto Rayalina, but Spider trying to contest a pull, but all of a sudden he's taking quite a bit of damage. Retaliate stacks popped by Zindrals. Zindrals gonna run towards Spider, and that'll be first blood as Spider kills himself from the Retaliate stack. He punched into Zindrals. I believe that delivered the last bit of damage required. He's got 12 of Chobo's strength, so the Doom, not quite a tanky Doom right now, but he's gonna still feel confident enough to walk up into the lane now. Now he's getting brought down, chunked down pretty low, 100 HP. Kinetic Field isn't gonna hit quite close enough, and they'll take down the Doom. Undying saps enough of his strength away where just a couple hits from death. He walked into the creep wave a little bit too far. Rayalina, now he's got some souls. He'll be able to catch right up in the CS. Gets his clarity cancelled actually from that toss. On the bot lane, Moo is plenty happy. He's got 21 CS, but more importantly, he's got 9 denies against the Centaur. So while Zinderals was able to grab first blood, Moo's been keeping him quite far back in lane, and he's able to get everything he wants here. Zinderals just level 3 against Moo's 4. On the top side, Lifestealer does have 8 denies to his own name. So, each of the offlaners struggling just a little bit. Zinderals, very smart TP as he was poison touched up, but his courier not so lucky. And looks like Pamplona, he's back at it again. He'll get the courier, and that's actually boots for Spider, so Spider can't be happy with that one. Zinderal's fallen quite low. They can't quite see him in the trees. They're pinging him out now. And now will be spotted. Pops the retaliate stacks. Double edge, but not enough damage. Moo takes him down. Moo actually takes quite a bit of damage in the process, but he's got a salve. He'll use it. Spider gonna run into Pamplona now. Doesn't have the poison touch, so Pamplona will be just fine. Chobo now with 2 points and Feast from Kukohook. He's gonna have a hard time getting into the lane, but he's got Devour. Gonna use it on that siege creep, but that brings him pretty deep into the wave, and he's slowed up and will be brought down by the Lifestealer. Meanwhile, Aiza was getting a pull off, so he wasn't there to help contest at all. Spider gets into the mid lane, get a little bit of XP while Raelina hits some jungle creeps. Spider now avalanched in by Dark Mago. Dark Mago is just going to toss him up. That'll take him down. Raelina now trying to go onto Pamplona, but Dark Mago finds a haste rune in addition to that arcane that he had. He'll run under the tier 2 and pick up a double kill as Raelina maybe getting a little bit aggressive trying to turn on Skywrath there. And a very fortunate haste rune for Dark Magos. Now they send Chobo to the mid lane trying to get XP, but he gets avalanche tossed. Pamplona comes in with the silence. Dark Mago looking for him. Now with Spider here, he's got to try and run away. Chobo falling quite low, but has the HP to survive with that Scorched Earth. Now Dark Mago avalanche onto Spider. Will not get the kill as Pamplona did get chunked down. Dark Mago looking to go forward. Avalanche does hit onto Chobo. Chobo will fall for that one. Dark Mago trying to TP. A double raise comes in. The glimpse to secure. And he will fall to Raelina. So he tried to get in a little bit deep as well. And he did find the kill, but it'll cost him his life and his dominating streaks. That's 425 gold going the way of Raelina. So after he found the kill on him, Raelina gets one right back, and he's going to be happy about that. Moo's got a javelin already. Kukohook's got a javelin already. And he's going to take the tier 1 in the top lane. This is only 8 minutes here, but that tower will fall. As they had to completely abandon this lane when it... About when Lifestealer hit level 4, Chobo couldn't walk into the wave anymore, so... They left the lane, they lost the tower. Now we're seeing very parallel lanes here. Moo, 21 denies. We see Kukohook with 15 denies. Each offlaner really getting shut out of the lane. Centaur just hit 6. Doom is about halfway to his, so he'll get there eventually. Chobo trying to get up to the creeps. He's going to spot out Aridis, and he'll back off for that one. Dark Mago on another arcane rune. He's going to look forward onto Raelina. Raelina, he tosses a creep, and Tree Throw won't be quite enough. Now Chobo trying to get aggressive. Infernal Blade does keep him in the kinetic field, and Raelina will clean that kill. Huge rotation, actually. 4 heroes coming into the mid to make sure that Tiny is, he's not getting anything. And this is going to be one fast Maelstrom we're seeing, on top of the phase boots, no less. So, sometimes these lifestealers, they've been going Javelin before boots, Maelstrom before boots. Kuguk's like, nope, I'm going to get my boots, and I'm going to get the Maelstrom too. Brings it out at 9:23. It comes on the Courier. So a very strong pre-10 minute Maelstrom. Will be sure to accelerate his farm. Yep, he's sitting 1,000 ahead of even the Weaver, who had pretty much an equally free lane. In the mid lane, Stampede will take down Spider. As Reedy's and excuse me, Tiny able to run forward, and Syndros wants to take this outpost back. Moo just captured it before the 10-minute mark. They'll take it back, so each team gonna get one as 4 heroes make their way to the bot lane from the side of Cream.
Dire's courier has been killed.
And there goes another courier. That's Ides' courier. And that's the second one this game, I believe. I know last game we had like 5 or 6 during the laning stage alone. Movie's gonna have his Maelstrom complete soon as well. But Kuguk's already got his, and his farm is accelerating and accelerating. He's left completely alone in this top lane. As a rotation comes from POTM to the bot lane. In the mid, Dark Mago pops the haste and he's able to run out of the kinetic field before it latches. But in bot, a Doom comes out onto Zinderals. He will fall. Now in the mid, Dark Mago continuing to go forward on that haste and finds Rayalina. As his buddies did come in, make sure he didn't get killed under that tier 1 mid. Means that we will be trading kills 1 for 1, but it's the offlaner going down for Cream and your mid going down for the side of POTM. Even after POTM takes the tier 1 in the bot, you gotta think that Cream's gonna be happy with that one, as Kuguk was still getting free farm, rotating through the jungle and through the lane, pushing it all the way to the tier 2 in the top lane. As yeah, we do see about a 2k net worth lead for the side of Cream, but you have to remember that that is on top of the Doom effect. This is a Doom, even though he has level 2 Devour, only level 2 Devour, he still does have Devour, and he does farm faster than most of these other offlaners. We see him pick up 1,000 gold on Zinderals, but that is just because of how Devour works, so just about 2k net worth lead is significant. Where's that? We hear Disruptor gets jumped on the back. Dark Mago will pick up that kill. Now Moo is trying to turn and find something out of this one. He's going to go on Pamplona. Meanwhile, Kukuk on the front under the tier 2 is trying to take down Spider. Spider graved up for now, but eventually should fall, and he will. Moo now trying to chase him down, taking a bit of damage as Kukuk, and he will actually find the kill with the Shikuchi. I didn't think he had enough damage there, but he went for it, and he got the proc on the Maelstrom as well as the Shikuchi damage, and that was enough to take down your Lifestealer, and that's a huge kill. 367 damage. Now Moo gets tossed up by Dark Mago, but pops the time lapse, and he'll be fine. So a huge kill going the way of him. And then getting away with his life is also significant. He just hit a dominating spree. You don't want to give that away to the mid, no less. Spider actually almost has a full mechanism complete. He went Brown Boots mech, and looking like it's going to work out for him, as he's going to try and farm it up, and he's got the gold for it now, actually. He does get jumped on. He gets the shallow grave off. He's going to back his way away as Moo shows up. Huge Static Storm actually latches onto 2. Now, Tombstone did get dropped, but it's going to get taken down quickly, and 2 kills cleaned up. Aza actually gets the last hit on both of them as Undying and Tiny caught in the Static Storm.
Radiant structures are fortified.
As Moo was able to beat on him. Moo now going around the tower looking for more. He won't find anything over here. So the rest of the team looks to kill off the tier 1 tower.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's
We're
bottom
actually
tower
looking
is
for
under
Zindros
attack.
now. Zindros gonna make his way into the trees, but he was scouted out. No stuns here though, so he'll be just fine. So Raylina now is catching up in the net worth chart. Just 1,000 behind, and we'll see if he can do what he did last game, and that's right about now. He started to really accelerate and hit the jungle creeps, hit the lane creeps, and he went uncontested. This time though, Dark Mago gonna jump onto him under the tier 2. Pamplona drops the ulti on him. Now he's slowed up. Silence brought down. So he's definitely going contested this game. As Kugohook actually is the one to claim that kill. Well, Chobo putting a little bit of pressure onto the tier 2 bot, but tier 1 top already has fallen. Cream claiming yet another tower.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
We see rotation coming in. Dark Mago on the back with that Blink Dagger. Doesn't quite see Ariza, so he's going to blink up to his high ground and just grab a bounty rune. Syndral's now about to pick up a blink of his own. And that'll be huge because we talked about them not having the most catch. Well, Blink Hoof Stomp is pretty good at giving you a little bit of catch. Now Chobo looking behind the tower for Pamplona. He's got help in the form of Moo. Moo with the Maelstrom going to proc him down.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Moo looking towards a Lincoln Sphere. It's actually not bad this game just because there's very little things to cancel it. One of the only things that Moo's gonna be scared of this game is the silence coming out from Skywrath Mage, and the only other thing that cancels it would be an Arcane Bolt coming out first, but that is a projectile with huge time, and we're gonna hold that thought as Zendros runs up to Raylina. Kukohook was inside of him. Now hoof stomped up and slowed. Raylina is gonna channel up the ulti, but Kukohook was under the effect of rage. Now Dark Mago here, blinked in, avalanche toss, and that's a dead Shadow Fiend. Moo jumping forward, and the glimpse back on Pamplona will cancel the TP. Now silenced up in the Mystic Flare, but not enough damage to take him down, and
To be rewoven.
Moo gets a kill on that bot side. Now a couple heroes TPing in. Zendros does get him with the Blink Stomp, and actually a Blink Avalanche Toss at the same time. Be more than enough damage to take him down. And Arades runs into the supports of POTM. He's going to run down Ariza. Meanwhile, Spider, he ran the other way and ran into the other cores. He will, yes, be blinked. Avalanche Toss brought down now. Disruptor did manage to TP out in the face of danger, but Spider, not quite so lucky. So 15-12 now, we are keeping it a close game. We're at, what, 400 net worth lead, I think is what that says down there. Chobo gonna get zoned out of the spot wave. Pamplona gonna use a little bit of space, try and finish up that Atos. It's just 200 gold away. Dark Mago now has an Echo Saber complete as well. So he's going to be pretty scary to run up against. Every hero on POTM, save for maybe the Doom, can very easily get blown up by just a Blink Avalanche Toss and a couple of punches. Moo just able to dive the tower and find Pamplona all by himself, but Dark Mago able to Blink Stun on Iza will be a trade of supports. Raylina now does have a BKB complete, so he'll be able to farm. He'll be able to fight at this point if he wants to, without the threat of Avalanche Toss, without the threat of the Blink Hoof Stomp coming out. And of course BKB extremely good against the Hoof Stomp because you do have more than enough time to make sure you hit that BKB button during the cast animation. So we see a smoke gank coming out from Cream. Infest into the Centaur. He's going to look to wrap. Just chilling up on the high ground for now. They're going to run up north. Moo is in the area. Doesn't quite make it in range. Now he gets in range to pop the smoke onto Arides. They're going to blink forward though onto Rayalina. Rayalina pops the BKB. Static Storm hits onto 3. Rayalina dealing damage in the middle of the Static Storm, but it's not enough to take out anyone. Rayalina's BKB about to end. Now Moo caught out in the Mystic Flare. Silenced up. They're going to back off of Rayalina. Nope. Now forward. Doom onto the Lifestealer. Lifestealer tossed back, but he will fall. Now Mago in trouble. Brought down by Moo. And TPing away is Pamplona, so POTM take down 4 while losing only the Disruptor. They're going to run straight into Roshan. And they do have more than enough damage to take this one down. So what looked like it was going to be a good initiation, just Rayalina able to pop the BKB. Like I was saying, after the Avalanche Toss, or even during the damage from that, he's able to get the BKB off. Doesn't take the full damage. And then they didn't have enough right-click damage to bring him down inside the Static Storm. Rayalina almost looked like he didn't have the damage to take any of the heroes down himself, but once Chobo came over and got the Doom out, Cream was forced into full retreat mode where Moo was able to just deal plenty of damage and take down the rest of the team. But Aiza there with a super clutch kinetic field into the Static Storm, caught out all three ganking heroes. Now that Atos is finished from Pamplona, Spider does get the grave off, but he's just gonna delay his death for a moment. He gets the Greaves off, and actually, he's gonna walk out of there. He's on 200 HP, he's just fine. Chobo blinks forward, gets the stun onto 2. Arides uses the Soul Rip to heal himself, but he'll fall. Chobo looking forward for more. Won't find Dark Mako, and Spider with those Greaves and the Ring of Tarask able to heal up enough. Meanwhile, Moo catches out Pamplona. He's gonna look for Kukoc as well. Rage will save him. And pretty suddenly we see 9k net worth lead as Moo finds the farm. And those kills definitely in the mid being huge. And now we're seeing a little bit of a lack of damage as well in this game as well. As unable to take down Rayalina are the side of Cream. I do mean that in a more general sense, as last game. Like, this is a Shadow Fiend with 19 armor and 2300 HP. He's not a squishy hero by any sense of the word.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
He's just gonna look to set up for the tier 2, but yeah, with that BKB, he feels super strong. And they're also Weaver level 20, Shadow Fiend level 19. Next highest level is this Lifestealer level 16 only, so Moo runs up. He does have the Aegis, remember. Gets the time lapse off, and he'll be just fine. Now he runs up onto the high ground, trying to go on Arides. Moo in a little bit of trouble now, falling low. Glimpse back Zindrals, but not into the kinetic field. But after all that, everyone's pretty healthy. After the Greaves, Moo runs out on more than half HP. Mago does toss back Spider. Spider falls pretty quick, and Static Storm will miss. Doom got out onto Lifestealer, but after the Rage was popped, Mago glimpsed back, but Zindrals jumps forward. And now the full retreat from the side of POTM. Moo does stop. They're gonna do the fake back. Zendarel's gonna walk straight uphill. Lifestealer pops out. Will catch 2. Chobo trying to run his way away after Raylina already has fallen. Chobo gonna take down Dark Mago, but he will fall to Kukohug. Kukohug now gonna run away from Moo. Moo trying to chase forward, but we'll stop at the creeps.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So 3 for 3. After taking down the Dazzle, POTM decided they could still stick around, so they went for the fake back play, but took just too much damage when Cream ran uphill. Kukohug now with the full basher done as well. Moo though picks up an MKB, so we talk about Lifestealer, and he hits this big spike at 20, when typically he's got Halberd plus he takes this evasion talent. Well, that's gonna be cancelled out by Moo already having the MKB before Kukohug even hits level 20. It's gonna take away the power spike entirely. Moo's still holding on to this Aegis. He's gonna run up north, spotted out by Kukohug, but nope, he'll back, and now Zendarel. Zendarel's gonna stampede forward, but toss Chobo back. Now Zendarel's is gonna be caught. Glimpse back into the Static Storm. Chobo pounding on him now. Zendarel's does pop the pipe. Infernal Blade will cancel the TP, and Moo will take him down.
I weave your fate.
During that time, the Aegis did expire. And Pamplona doing his best to split the wave out. He's going to TP away. No stun to catch him. No, there is the glimpse there. Raylina cleans that kill. He's got the Hurricane Pike complete now. And up top lane, Moo finds Kukohug. Kukohug gonna rage. He's gonna just TP. Not quite enough damage there, though the MKB does make it a lot closer to a kill than perhaps he was expecting. Isaac gets a very deep ward here. And once again, we're going to see Cream pretty much pinned up on their high ground. As all of a sudden, it's a 16,000 net worth lead for the side of started from the bottom. Moo this time going to be the one to be going for the Satanic, I would imagine. Yep, queued up on Raylina as well. And they're not, so part of this idea, right, is both of these heroes went tanky builds, the Hurricane Pike and the BKB, as well as the Lincoln Sphere into now the Satanic. Guys, hold that Dark Dark Mago jumps forward to find Spider. They dropped the Tombstone for that one, they dropped the Mystic Flare, they dropped everything, but they found the kill on the Dazzle on the backline, so venturing outside of their base for a bit did net them a kill. And that allowed them to reclaim their own jungle for the time being. But the reason they went these tanky builds is Tiny did not go the more typical mid build in the SNY into Echo Saber, the SNY into AC, the more right-click damage build. Instead, with him going Blink and focusing more on getting Avalanche Toss combos, the cores on the side of POTM have decided, hey, if I can just tank through that combo, if I can just tank through the initial stun, there's no more control on the side of Cream, so I can tank through it through HP or through status resistance with these Satanics. And after that happens, I'll be just fine to turn and fight, I'll be just fine to turn and run, whatever I need to do. Meanwhile, after that kill, once Dazzle respawns, we see Cream just right back to the high ground. We're not going to leave this hill. But we see all of Cream on the high ground, but there's not actually any creeps even here yet. They're gonna be walking in. The closest ones are gonna be in the mid lane. But while they're on this high ground, they are getting no gold at all. And Kugahook actually so scared to go out and farm that wave that he just tosses the Mjolnir shell onto the melee creep, but he doesn't actually get the farm from that wave. So they're going to make another play to try and reclaim their jungle again. They don't have a smoke out, but in the meantime, POTM have decided, hey, Roche is up. We waited for it. Let's take it again. And Cream, just whether they know what's going on or not, they're going to take the opportunity that they get with no pressure to farm a couple of camps. But once they do that, Moo grabs the Aegis. Cheese did go the way of Raylina.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And now they can just look to go into the high ground. We're now at a 17, 18k net worth lead. Moo just walks straight up. Gonna start punching on that tier 3. Avalanche Toss takes down almost none of Moo's HP, and the Greaves to heal him up means he's practically full. Raylina now gets blinked on by Dark Mago, but he's used his combo already. On the other side, we see Zindrals did get the stomp onto Moo. Now the Static Storm onto 2, and the Centaur Stomp from Chobo hits 2. Lifestealer gets the Infest into Centaur. They'll back away together. Tombstone was dropped, and it will be clicked down quickly. Kugahook now looking to come back in. Pops the Lincolns on Moo. Moo will just back away, and the Glyph will push him back for the time being. Now Chobo gets blinked on, but hits the Hoof Stomp after he popped the BKB. Moo disarmed for now. Aiza was in a little bit of trouble. Gets force-staffed away. Moo taking damage from all of the heroes on the team. Gets the time-lapse off after a great Grave comes out onto him. 2 heroes dead before the side of Cream and an instant buyback from Tiny. Chobo now trying to walk forward, and Moo just going to hit on the tier 3. Tier 3 falls now. Focusing the racks are POTM. Both heroes bought back from the side of Cream. Dark Mago jumps in. Actually hits a 4-man avalanche, but Azia saved by the shallow Graves. Zindal's on the back lines trying to do as much as he can, but doesn't quite have the control. Killing spree for Raylina as 2 more heroes fall. Arades is going to get glimpsed back. Kugahook will pop outside so he doesn't get brought back with his Undying. Undying buys back, but that's 2 dead, no buyback. Kugahook now looking to go forward. Pops the Lincolns on Moo. Moo's just going to punch into him. Kinetic Field, excuse me. Moo now skills the 25 talent for the extra speed. Dives almost all the way to the fountain, but now he might get brought down. No, he falls low. No, Satanic popped, and he will be healed back up to full HP. Punching into Kugahook, heal back now. And now all of a sudden we find ourselves in a 2 versus 5 for the throne. Not wanting to GG out our Cream, but this game is definitely over.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's ancient is under attack. And he is complete.
Jumping forward. Static Storm onto Kugahook and Throne to fall. Started from the bottom with a dominant performance in this best of 2 today against Cream Esports. Rolled them for 2 straight games. Had full control. Cream did have their little moment at the beginning of the game where they looked like they could maybe take control, but started from the bottom, able to take a couple of good fights and just take over the rest of the game. So, very nice 2-0 victory from them.
Like you